Nigri ni Mwanzo. Go is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man Adam called son, and Shun, mother nature, mother earth. In the name of the true begotten Son, Emmanuel, whose name means go with us, Matthew 1:23. In the name of the true motherland, Nigritia, Nigitia, which means land of the goals. Kiswahili, motherland, Nigritia, Nigitia, which means land of the goals. By, for, through, and in the covenant created with my forefathers created new to me, so the chosen ones can and will have choices. Amani kutoka you, peace from above. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Good to be back again. The Book of Life, Kitabucha, Uzima. Agano, Jipya, Ya, Imanuel, the New Testament of Imanuel. Luke chapter 14. Now it happened as he went into the house of one of the rulers of the Pharisees to eat bread on the Sabbath, that they watched him closely. And behold, there was a certain man before him who had dropsy. And Emmanuel answering spoke to the lawyers of Pharisees, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? But they kept silent, and he took him and healed him and let him go. Then he answered them, saying, which of you, having a donkey or an ox that has fallen into a pit, will not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath day? And they could not answer him regarding these things. So he told a parable to those who were invited. When he noted how they chose the best places, saying to them, when you are invited by anyone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in the best place, lest one more honorable than you be invited by him. And he who invited you and him come and say to you, give place to this man, and then you begin with shame to take the lowest place. But when you are invited, go and sit down in the lowest place, so that when he who invited you comes, he may say to you, friend, go up higher. Then you will have glory in the presence of those who sit at the table with you. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he also said to him who invited him, when you give a dinner or a supper, do not ask your friends, your brothers, your relatives, nor rich neighbors, lest they also invite you back and you be repaid. But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind. And when you will be blessed, and you will be blessed because they cannot repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just. Now, when one of those who sat at the table with him heard these things, he said to him, blessed is he who shall eat bread in the kingdom of God. Then he said to him, a certain man gave a great supper and invited many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to those who were invited, come, for all things are now ready. But when they all with one accord began to make excuses, the first said to him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go and see it. I ask you to have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I am going to test them. I ask you to have me excused. Still another said, I have married a woman, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in here the poor and the maimed and the lame and the blind. And the servant said, master, it is done as you commanded, and still there is room. Then the master said to the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say to you that none of those men who were invited shall taste my supper. Now great multitudes went with him, and he turned and said to them, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not bear his burden and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the costs, where he has enough to finish it? Least after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king, going to make war against another king, does not sit down first and consider whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is still a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks conditions of peace. So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he has cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land nor for the dunghill, but men throw it out. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Interesting. Really interesting. And he said, when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place. Yeah, I understand that concept. Because if you invited, so you're gonna sit up there in the front, and then somebody gonna come up there to the front, like, what you doing up here? You ain't got no business up here. Get on back there to the back. And then you have to move. But if you sit in the back and the one who invited you, hey man, what you doing back there? No, 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 no. Come up here. Then everybody around gonna be like, oh, okay. He didn't take nothing for granted. He was positioned there by the individual who called forth the supper. One more time. Hmm. Invite, when you give a feast, invite the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind. In other words, like he said, those who cannot repay you, because those who can repay you will repay you, and then you repay. Hmm. When you give a dinner or a supper, do not ask your friends, your brothers, your relatives, nor rich neighbors, lest they also invite you back and you be repaid. When you invite the lame, the poor, you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just. In other words, when you do it from your heart to assist those who you know need assistance, you know, like I saying it take money to make money, true, but at the same time, everybody's not able to have the consciousness to be able to make money. So therefore, you can assist them as you make money. You can share some of your wealth with them, because God has blessed you. And he got met after he went out there and invited all these people, and they was like, "Oh man, I got things to do, man. I got other things to do. I ain't got time to be coming over there." And then he said, and then he reported these things to his master. Notice, then the master of the house, one more time, master, which is why I do not use that terminology with God of Gold, because he is God of Gold. Man is master. Did you not hear what he said? 2021. He reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house, being angry. You know, It's like he said, and who, okay, 27, and whoever does not bear his burden and come after me cannot be my disciple. Burden, not a cross. Emmanuel did not carry a cross. Emmanuel was nailed to a tree. He was nailed in 4 points. Well, he was nailed in 3 points, but semi 4 points because when they put that thorn crown on his head, just like me, when I thank go to goals, I tell him I belong to him, my mind, my body, my heart, and my soul. One more time. Mind, body, heart, and soul belongs to he who created me. One more time. I don't tolerate that. That's why he's saying you cannot love your mother, well, and your father, and your brother. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. I can semi relate to that because, man, I'm not overjoyed about my life. I'm not just like I was. I'm not overjoyed about my people's, my family, because first of all, they gonna look at Jesus and say Jesus, and look at me crazy because I say Jesus. One more time, I don't hate them, and I don't believe. Let me rephrase that because that ain't making no sense. Because Lord, those who teach hate. Anyone who does not despise his mother and his father and his brother, not hate. You can't, no, no. Hate is too strong of a word. If anyone comes to me and does not despise his father and mother, not hate, because I don't believe in hate, and I don't think Goro believes in hate. No, that's another word, just like that cross is another word that they were allowed to put into service. Because first thing he said, no graven images, none. Above, below, ocean, sea, north, south, east, west, doesn't matter. No graven images. You look up to see him so that when he looks down, he can see you, see your face, notice who you are because you are as a child looking up to your father. One more time. Your earthly father you grew up looking up to. I did not get that privilege until my earthly father was 80 years old. One more time. So 45 years of my life, I was steady, busy looking up to the Father of fathers. One more time. The one who said, beware of other people's goals. Anyhow, like I was saying, verse 26, chapter 14. If anyone comes to me and does not despise his father and mother and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. 27. And whoever does not bear his burden and come after me cannot be my disciple. Not a cross. Because God already established no graven images. Stop brain whitewash. Every time I see people running around with crosses on their chest or crosses tattooed on them, I just feel sorry for them. I mean, I really do. As they steady talk about how they believe in gold, but they don't because they can't say gold. Because if they can say gold, they can say Emmanuel. One time. When they can say Jesus, then they can say Emmanuel. And when they can say Emmanuel, then they can say gold, because then they're going to see He who sent me, like my big brother, to be here and to relate to those who seeking gold of gold, nothing more, nothing less. I am not like my big brother Imanuel, who had all these people. I am not the author of life. They killed the author of life. The gold of gold raised him. One more time. Stop brain whitewash. There is no such thing as a cross. You have to carry the burden of life. We all have a burden of life we have to carry. And some of us can carry it better than others. Just like a saying is, gold of gold only place his greatest jobs on his greatest warriors. No matter how I feel, his will be done first and foremost. I say this because it's not about my feelings. It's about what he brought to life first on me. My brain. And my brain says I wake up each day because he says, go forth and represent me. And that's all I can do. And as I represent him, Satan lets me know I'm doing it right, because when stuff come up out of nowhere, I'm at Target. Woman standing there with a tag. I asked her, do you work here? She said, I'm on break. A black woman, of course. Excuse me, I just wanted to ask. Then a white Spanish speaking woman, she's on break. Why are you talking to me? I haven't said anything to you. Why are you talking to me? I heard her when she said what she said. Why are you talking to me? At the time, it disturbed me, but as I sit here now, I realize and recognize one more time. I have to remember who I am, and that Satan is not overjoyed with my existence. Because right after that, after I left, I met a young man, and me and him got to talking about the gold of gold. Me and him got to talking about Jesus. Because I asked him, I said, man, what's the first letter in Jesus? You know what he told me? He said, G. Bam. Bam. That's a young man who's using his brain. When he said G, he said the first letter in Jesus is G. He sent him to me. He sent me to him. One more time, because we're talking about gold goals and his power. One more time. One more time. Because the first thing that started off, the thing that set it off is he got locks. He got locks. When I told him about Samson having 7 locks, huh? What? Who? What? What? When I'm talking to him again, I'm going to tell him about dreadlocks. Yeah. Tell him about dreadlocks. Do what I'm supposed to do. Teach knowledge, gold blesses me with, to give to the next generation, so that those who gold chooses can and will be able to do what I do. Jesus is OPG. Let them have their gold. Gold says power is in feet of polished gold and hair of gold lamb. I didn't say it. I just imitated. One more time. Every time I'll be trying to feel semi down and out, I'm steadily reminded of his power. First and foremost, gold of golds, power. The burden that we all have to carry. One more time. If you feel the need, it's 4 points. 4 points. North, east, south, and west. One more time. Mind, body, heart, and soul. Not a cross, but the 4 points. the go, bless man with mind first, body, heart, and soul is his, for he allows me to be once again. Among you trip C's who call collected www whole wide world. Ni Mwanzo. Wo is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man Adam called son, S-U-N, mother nature, mother earth. In the name of the true begotten son, Emmanuel, I am Emmanuel, whose name being go with us, Matthew 1:23. In the name of the true motherland, Nigritia, Nigeria, which means land of the gods. Ki Swahili Kunta King Te, Tower of Babel, man's first tongue.